5 signs it was true love. Even after arguments, you find yourself wishing things could be different, or you have an overwhelming willingness to reconcile. No matter how hard you try to bury the moments, you find yourself playing back the scenes, correcting them mentally. You find yourself not upset at the issues detailed in the disagreement, but the mere fact that there's a lack of healthy communication that would at best leave you and your loved one agreeing to disagree. Example. You find yourself praying for the person and asking God for assistance of guidance. Usually when relationships go south, we find ourselves trying to take matters into our own hands, not giving proper space, being in a victim or accusatory mode, or trying to dull the pain of disconnect through physical pleasure with the person. These things often indicate a situation that was more flesh-based, rather than a true mental and spiritual connection. When you turn to methods such as prayer, letting go, and self-reflection, this will at the very least have you in position to reverse the circumstance, if your ex ever comes back around. Too often we overlook our toxic behavior because ego doesn't allow us to be accountable and satisfy both ends of the love equation. Also trusting the Creator and partaking in surrendering, detachment and self-reflection, you are showing an incredible amount of faith and maturity, 2 ingredients that will give you an upper hand in relationship matter, and just in life in general. Example. You're willing to let go, one way or another. At times, especially in matters of love, we become attached, often unhealthily. When you are able to honor yourself and the other person involved by granting their request or terms in the separation phase, it's actually more of a symbol of love than trying to force things back together. Example. You still act or feel as if you are connected and do not rush or pursue others, even when it's technically over. You have no real interest in pursuing another relationship. You still feel the presence of the person and feel like it would be disrespect to get involved so soon, or with a clear understanding with your ex. This assuming that the separation is still relatively fresh. In essence, you take your time after the breakup. Example. Your first inclination is to think about what you did to make things fall apart, and not so much pointing fingers. You find yourself willing to admit your shortcomings to your ex or just though your own reflections. The lack of communication and accountability are heavy factors in relationship going south. Oftentimes, because of the conditioning of society, both parties or one at least is most likely a narcissist or exhibit highly narcissistic behaviors. We often hear but don't listen, closing the door on accountability. But when you find yourself in the opposite extreme, not only are you able to notice and accept your lesser than behavior, but you're willing to let your ex and or others know about it. Example. Time brings you back together if you find yourself running into your ex, or finding yourself in situations that require contact or communication between you two. It may be opportunities to be cordial and remind them of the positive sides, before things got too heavy. This assuming that you were friends or to a liking to the person before you got seriously involved with them. Example. You realized they were essential to making your weaknesses into strengths. Everyone has a certain level of crazy in them, but when you lay it all out on the table, you realize that the good outweighed the bad. Assuming the problems were correctable ones, most often it's our willingness to be receptive or be open to the lessons this person's presence in our life has to offer. Did they inspire you? Did they support your endeavors? Were they relatively honest with you? If there are more checks in the most important lanes, then the rest is most likely correctable, but could reflect more on maturity, rather than outright shallow or fake love.